Hi there, this is Dylan, and I'm sorry for the poor lighting. I am doing this in the middle of the night, and I'm trying to keep my voice down so that I don't disturb any of our neighbors. Sorry for stuttering. I just posted 2 videos, so I apologize if anyone feels bombarded by the sudden influx of uploads here. But I feel like I have to make this video right now as I just keep obsessing about it, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to sleep until I do. So those videos I just posted were from a few days ago, and on Monday, something really terrible happened that I've been debating about how much I want to say about it, but I just feel like I'm going to go ahead and go with heavier disclosure rather than less. So it's nothing I did, and it's nothing that my husband did. But his parents, who we've been relying on financially, who were trying to get us indoors, supposedly, and were keeping us in motels while we looked for housing, have suddenly cut us off completely and blocked our phone number. And we are going to be on the street in a couple of days. And this is all because one of them, I believe, has narcissistic personality disorder, and the other one, I believe, is a severe codependent with dissociative tendencies. And the narcissistic one called the motel where we've been staying, and I thought that it might be my husband, so I picked up the phone while he was out, and they immediately tried to force me into having a conversation with them, even though it did not appear to be necessary as far as I could tell in any way, shape, or form. And it appeared to me to be 100% a manipulation. We have been no contact with them for almost 3 years now, and they were acting as if we were not no contact at all, and as if they were fully entitled to our time and energy. But we cannot give them that directly because they have been consistently toxic to us in the past and consistently toxic to our husband. And so we have had to draw a boundary there. So when they refused to comply with our boundary, which we politely set over the phone by telling them that we would tell our husband to call them when he got home to our room, they ran over it, kept talking as if we had not said anything, and so we said again, "I'm sorry, I really can't." I think our words might have been something like, "I really can't," and then followed by the words, "I'm sorry, I'll have her husband call you when he gets home." And then I hung up the phone because I did not know what else to do. I was going to have a meltdown. I had not heard their voice in a long time, directly like that. And it was horribly triggering for me, as this person has actually been violent to us in the past. And as soon as we hung up the phone, we felt 2 things. We felt extremely proud of ourselves because we felt like we handled it perfectly from our end. We felt like we had managed to maintain our composure and to be very polite to them. We treated them with respect, but we also treated ourselves with respect, and that meant that we had to end the phone call. We also, however, were immediately hit with the sense that they were going to cut us off completely financially and leave us totally stranded where we are in a very dangerous situation, because this person would be so extremely offended at us. We just did not think that they would continue supporting us. And unfortunately, that proved to be true. They immediately blocked our number, and then from what I could see, lied about it, contacted our husband through the hotel again, and informed him that they would not be supporting us anymore. It sounds from what I heard like the narcissistic one lied to the codependent about what happened in our conversation. But the codependent is completely unwilling to face that, and so has completely left us in a really, really desperate situation. And not only are we going to be on the street again, but we're going to be on the street in a place that has weather that is extremely unsafe for us. I am very heat sensitive. We took a huge risk in moving to this place that we moved to because we knew that if we ended up on the street, it could be medically dangerous for me with the heat. And at the same time, our husband is on methadone here. He just got his methadone switched over here, which his parents knew. And if this was not enough, today was his birthday. They did all of this the day before his birthday. So, obviously we are extremely shaken. We are absolutely terrified. Another piece of it is that this place that we're living in is very conservative, and they're notorious for being vicious to homeless people. That does not make us feel good. The thing is that when we moved up here, without actually having housing, we knew that there was a huge risk. Even if we did have housing, we knew there was a huge risk that we would lose our support from these people at any moment, because we knew that fundamentally they did not support us. Even though I think the codependent one, to a degree, does care, they are completely... I don't believe that they are an MK Ultra victim like I was, but they might as well be in many respects. I think that the narcissistic parent in this situation, they have a psychology degree as far as I know, and they flaunted knowledge of that kind of thing to me when I was in contact with them. And I very much think that they have intentionally been using mind control techniques, specifically around dissociation and sleep deprivation with their partner. And as horribly angry as I am at the codependent one, in many ways more so, I have a lot of forgiveness for them as a mind control survivor, and I want to let them go. I want to let both of them go, and I want us to be free. Like I said, we knew this was a huge risk, and I don't think I finished my thought there. I got sidetracked, I think. I'm not sure. I'm very dissociated. I'm really in a state of trauma right now, obviously. But what I wanted to say was we felt very guided here by a higher power. I still feel that we did the right thing, and I think that this is for the highest good. I believe that my husband's parents are pathologically ill in a way that we cannot do anything about. No one could probably do anything about. And I truly feel that this last action, towards us was a way of the codependent ones, a way for that person to completely forsake their humanity once and for all. They're a person who seems to have been slowly dying over decades. And I personally feel that this was the final act of them rejecting their own humanity by rejecting their own child, basically on their birthday, and leaving them and their spouse out to rot like this. From my perspective, is I think it is the final action for that person on a spiritual level in this life. A very final action. And I feel very sorry for them. So, anyways, some more details about this situation. Part of why we went to the town we were in was we were trying to move north. We were trying to go deep into the Pacific Northwest, and We don't know exactly how that is going to happen yet, but we have moved north to a degree. And if we stay here and don't backtrack, we may be able to move further north from here. Part of us is very much considering going back to the Bay Area where we were before because of the weather, but that did not work. We needed to leave there, and we feel like we have been moving in the right direction, and we have done what we're supposed to be doing in moving here. It's just that right now we feel completely and totally fucked. We have just enough money to rescue the last of our belongings from our storage in the last town we were in, and then to get a storage here, and we're very grateful for that. So we will be able to get our camping stuff, which we have been left without. We also have a few nights inside still in this motel, but we will be leaving Saturday. And we would actually go into a shelter at this point. However, the only shelter in this town is an extremely MK seeming place from everything I've heard and read about it. It is nominally Christian. It sounds very cult-like. It sounds very abusive. It sounds completely MK Ultra to me. And my husband and I have agreed that that's not an option for us. And so we don't know what we are going to do. Being on the street in this place terrifies us for a number of reasons. It's not that we don't have friends, but to go and stay with any of the people we could stay with would mean abandoning the path that we're on, moving in the direction we're moving, and I really do feel like it's important. Before I even got to California, when I escaped from Texas, I felt strongly that the Pacific Northwest was where I was going to do a lot of spiritual work and healing. There's a number of reasons I feel drawn there. There are reasons that I felt drawn to California, but shortly after I got here, I became very aware of just how much this was a stepping stone on my path, and how much my path was leading me northwards. And so this has been in the works for years for me, and our husband seems to be on a similar page with us about wanting to go there. I don't think that he's as passionate about it personally as we are. However, he very much agrees that we would do well there, I think, and is in support of us going there. So I think we're just going to keep trying to do that. And I don't know what the next thing is, but we just can only take this, I'm sorry to use a 12-step phrase, but we can only take this a day at a time. So I'm really focusing on forgiveness and mindfulness, and on the fact that one positive here is that the way that these people have screwed us over right now is so in our face and so cold and so just heinous, in my opinion, that I don't think that neither our husband nor I can deny any longer that we cannot ever go to them for help again. And so I think that both of us are going to find a new level of freedom from narcissistic abuse. In order to maintain this, our husband has had to have way more contact with them than he should, and at this point it seems like he shouldn't have any. And so I think this is the beginning of us both as a couple finally being no contact with both of our narcissistic families. I've been no contact with mine for a while, and now I think this is the first time he's going to have a true opportunity to be no contact with his. He's gone periods of time without speaking to them. I think a couple years might have been the most, but he's never done it in such a grounded fashion. And I think that this time, with it being his birthday and everything, this really is the last time that they are going to have any power over us. Okay, that's all I have to say for this. I guess one last thing real quick. Once again, we are not going to be accepting any financial assistance through this channel. We are going to stick to that, even if it means to our grave. We would rather die and have people believe us than live and have people not, because in order to do so, we had to take money and tarnish our credibility. And so, no, I don't want to die. I'm very much committed to life, and I'm going to fight for our survival here, but I'm going to fight for it in a way that allows us to maintain the credibility we've built here from not taking financial assistance. But something we would welcome, as always, is good energy. If you guys have love to share, please, I don't mean to give a command here, but I would very much appreciate it. And if you want to give to us and are frustrated by not being able to, in a certain way, we very much encourage you, if you can, to give whatever you were going to give to us to someone else who is homeless, as I'm sure they deserve it, and you deserve the good karma you would get from that, and it would all come back around to us anyway. Thank you.